Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new Slay and Shade, the series where I do a bad makeup look while sharing my personal opinions on other YouTubers, brands, etc. We are going to be talking about NIKOCADO Avocado today, and I've known about this guy for quite some years, and there's so much over the years that I'm going to stick to a few of like the bigger dramas and my personal feelings on him. Now, I don't hate anybody except for Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch, Ghost Machine, and Moto Grader. So this is just observations from myself on his behavior. Everything I use today as far as makeup will be in the description box along with my link to my Twitter if you guys feel like following me on there. It's mostly tumbleweeds. It's like my dog or food or Bob or something, you know. So, but it's fun, you know, so follow me if you want to. So I'm gonna use, I keep thinking about everything that I have to say about Nick, and it's just ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going in with the Tati Beauty Palette again. Seriously, I just keep thinking of different things to use. I think I'm going to go in with Soothe and maybe check out some of these colors in either one of those rows. And I'm going to put some powder on. I just got a brand new eye primer, which I have on, and it feels pretty nice. And I got this new powder, Mehron powder. It's Mehron. A friend of mine does special effects makeup and stuff for like local theater stuff, and she's always going on about this brand. So this will be my first time using this powder to set and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I first heard about NIKOCADO Avocado way back. I want to say it's been like 5 or 6 years possibly, but maybe it's like 4. I can't remember, but I remember at the time I was like pretty not an extreme vegan, because I never like preached about things like that, like you do you know what I mean? But I realized that there was a lot of drama going on with a lot of these channels in the vegan community. And so somebody I used to follow would be Vegan Cheetah. I don't know if you guys remember Charles or not. I don't even know if he still does videos nowadays. I do know that I watched him a lot before like a lot of things happen where you love a YouTuber and then things get messy and you don't really watch them anymore, which is what happened in this case with Vegan Cheetah. It got a little too much for me, you know, and you know, I don't get offended easily. I really don't. I really try to see everything from other people's perspectives, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's a whole other video. So I was watching Vegan Cheetah, and there were a couple other, like Martin Lewis, you know, they had done these videos on NIKOCADO Avocado. Like way back then, he was still in a lot of drama, like all the time. And I didn't like him from the get of the go. I don't know, there was something very unusual about him. He seemed very consumed by attention and views and monetization and really acting sort of in a manic type sense, but it always seemed calculated. It always seemed like he was acting a certain way for a reason, you know? So, and I don't like that. And he is somebody that would do anything for views. You know, 1 minute he's posting how he's poor and this is his last meal, and then he says that he's sorry to Veronica and Stephanie, but then he acts crazy. I mean, it's just not right. Like, I don't really understand how people still support him. I mean, there's a difference. Like, you can see his fans will be like wanting him to be a better person, but his stans don't think that he like does anything wrong. And there's a very culty sort of feeling with them. And if you're part of that stan group, I apologize. This is just my personal opinion on him. And like I said, like I just don't get it. Like, I just don't understand the appeal. So anyway, so Nick went from a vegan YouTuber that was in a whole lot of drama to a mukbang YouTuber that eats whatever he wants in large quantities and also causing a lot of drama. So nothing over the years has changed in my eyes. It's always the same thing with him. It's always drama. So one of the bigger things that has happened recently is with Stephanie Soo. Now, obviously, you know whose side I'm on in this situation, but he had been to her house, and watching Stephanie's videos, which I highly recommend you do, it really seemed like she felt a lot of pressure, and I don't know, I get that vibe, like when Nick is collabing with people, that like he really is pressuring them and really manipulative, like, and he wants to be in charge, you know what I mean? It's just very creepy. So I watched those videos. So he wanted to collab with Stephanie, and she's huge in the community, huge. So you know why he wanted to collab with her. And while he was at her house, allegedly he took pictures of the inside of her house when she was in the restroom, and he did post photos that showed her security system. And apparently Stephanie had a very traumatic experience with an issue of somebody coming into her house and doing things to her, and she has the security system, and she really values her privacy and her security. So that right there, if that's even all that he did, is really shady. It really is crossing a line. So right away, Stephanie talks about how he was taking these pictures, and why don't you let me, you know, give me your consent so that I can release all of these photos, you know, or the security footage. And if he had nothing to hide, then he would have just consented to that, like, right away. But he didn't. And so she goes in and talks about how he had manipulated her, and how he was making fun of her with this in and out of sleep and all this stuff. And just, you know, really just vile things. Like, everything is a joke to him. And I don't know, you know, he kind of creeps me out. Like, he kind of scares me, to be honest. I feel really bad for Stephanie in this situation, and a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you do this, or why didn't you do that? But when you're in the moment, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Like, when you're in the moment, you don't always realize you're being manipulated. You don't always realize somebody's true intentions until after the fact, you know? And so I was really on Stephanie's side, like, from right away, because she had all the receipts. She had all of this evidence. And, you know, Nick responds a little bit with a, you know, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Just like ridiculous stuff, you know? Oh, you know, this is the sequin shade, and you actually can see the sequin in it, like, up close. Just want to put a little bit here. So he's sorry, then he's not sorry, and he totally did use Veronica Wang as a scapegoat, as an excuse, and it's disgusting. And for a little bit here, I wondered if, now this is the metallic, I wondered if I should even do a video on Nick, because I felt like there may be something actually wrong with him. And in that case, I don't feel comfortable talking about stuff like that. But this all just is a pattern of behavior that we have seen over and over and over again. So as much as he wants everybody to believe that he's having all of these breakdowns, I'm kind of not buying it. Like I said, they're always very calculated. They're always when he needs views or when he does something really shady. And it's crazy, like, if you watch some of these videos and you see him, like, freaking out in his car, and then, you know, having this, you know, breakdown, and the things that he'll say, like, oh, I gained so much weight. Well, you used to be a vegan YouTuber getting into drama, and now you eat, like, pounds of food at a time. Like, You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know why you're wondering why you're gaining weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just ridiculous. And to be quite honest, like, yes, I'm afraid of him because he just seems like, you know, very vindictive and stuff. And in the case of Hushbong, however you say it, he tried to get his channel taken down with these false copyright claims. And this is the thing. You may not like things that people have to say about you, but you're putting yourself out there on the internet. People are going to respond. People are going to critique you. That is no reason for you, unless you're being severely harassed and getting death threats from that person in that video, should you ever claim a video like that. So if you get 3 strikes, then your channel gets removed, which almost happened to Hushbong, and because of Nick. And I would really, really love to know what the consequences are gonna be for Nick's actions. Is he going to end up having a strike on his channel for doing this stuff? Like, what is going on, you know? And that's the thing that happens a lot. You know, YouTubers like him think that they can get away with anything because they try to, and when it doesn't work, there's still no consequences to their behavior. And it's really disturbing, you know. I'm just saying, it's just a little disturbing. And, you know, we all have a right to critique and talk about things, you know. And I mean, he should know that because he's like a drama channel, even though he thinks he's a mukbang channel. Another thing that he did that was disrespectful and just ridiculous, I dragged this down a little too far, is a video not long after Kobe Bryant's death, saying, oh, somebody died. I think his name was like Colby or something. Like, I don't really know how to spell his name. I don't really know. Come on. Like, that is totally on purpose. There's no way that you did not see his name everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. This is the kind of stuff people will do, and they will do anything for views. And the thing is that it's like he likes that people hate him, which is so weird to me. He likes being that like villain or whatever, probably because he doesn't really have a personality. So in that case, he has to do like these outrageous things, say, you know, possibly insensitive and offensive things, and do crazy freakouts and stuff to get the attention. Because if it was left up to us just being entertained by his personality, he would not have any subscribers, you know. And the thing is that when he apologized more recently, people had a pretty good response to it. I did not. And I didn't have a good response to it because this is the pattern that we always see. It's always, you know, what he does is he gets himself into drama and then he lies about it. And when he gets caught in several lies, he ends up blaming other people. He ends up having all of these excuses. And so he doesn't have to take any accountability for himself. And then when he's backed into a corner, he ends up apologizing. But this repeats itself over and over again. So if you think for 1 second that he has changed it all, no. And we saw that recently. If you didn't know, Justin Bieber was like really manipulating his young fans into getting his song to #1 by saying, play it all night on Spotify. And, you know, you could just like mute it and all this craziness, right? So basically, so Nick started another channel, like he needs another one. And he posted that he wanted people to watch the videos, let them play. Even if you mute them, you know, just get the watch time in so he can get the channel monetized. Like, YouTube is his career, which is really weird to say because he's just kind of a horrible person, allegedly. And I just don't, I don't know. Like, I could never do this if it was a job. And I think it's awesome that some people get to be able to do that, and a lot of people totally deserve it, but it would put like so much pressure on me to like have to make money. So I think that that's another thing. Like when it's your job, these people sort of act really different because they want, like the money is what is important, you know? I'm using a little bit of this peachy blush. I don't use blush that often, but I do like this one. It's doesn't really show up that well on camera. One thing about the Tati palette, I, like Robert Welsh, have the same problem with getting the glitter from that one side because the way that you have to hold the palette, because it's kind of awkward, but I love it. I love the palette. Anyway, so this is the pattern of behavior, and because this is his job, it's like it almost doesn't register to him that there's anything wrong with it. As long as he's getting the views, he doesn't care if people like him, don't like him. I mean, he really couldn't care less. I always forget how wide this is. And that's kind of upsetting. Like, I would hate to be somebody on the internet that like everybody hates and despises, you know? So if you didn't know about NIKOCADO Avocado back in the day, this is the pattern. This is what it is. It is disgusting. It is always for views, and like I said, he doesn't care if people don't like him. He doesn't care if he's like the villain, you know. That's as long as people are talking about him, which I know that I am adding to the problem here, that as long as people talk about him, then he'll get the views. Things aren't ever gonna really change unless we stop giving them the views, you know what I mean? Unless we stop watching them, stop paying attention to people, which is typically what I end up doing. I just don't pay attention to them. Yes, I did watch quite a few videos from NIKOCADO Avocado. A lot of things I got clips from, you know, watching like other channels or like Twitter and stuff like that, because I didn't want to give them the views, you know? Oh my God, my hair is so long. So totally on Stephanie's side here. I think that Nick is troubled in ways, you know. Everything is about a view and monetization, and for him to go on about, oh, watch my videos and even mute them or whatever because he wants to be monetized, that's all that matters to him. And he's always tried to find a way to be relevant, to join whatever community he can, and to use people to his advantage. And somebody like that is just a creep in my book. I don't think that he's going to change. I really don't think that he's ever sincere about any apologies, because if you're sincere about an apology, then you reflect, you realize, you know, you have that self-awareness where you know what you did was wrong. So not only do you apologize, but you change the pattern of your behavior, which is something that he is just not going to do. And it's sad, you know, and I think like a lot of people, it kind of is a little maddening at times that people that are so, manipulative and, you know, problematic, whatever you want to call it, have such a big following and will be successful even though they're not very good people. And I mean, if you agree with any of this, you know, I would suggest just not watching him. Don't give him the satisfaction. I mean, another channel, like, we really need more NIKOCADO in our lives. Come on. So, you know, I'm not a fan of his. I haven't been. I feel like this is his same pattern of behavior that's been going on for years, and I don't feel like he has changed. It would be great if he did. I still wouldn't subscribe to him because I can't stand watching people eat like that. So I wouldn't even really watch his content, but I wouldn't make a video on him. You know what I mean? But of course, I always hope people grow and change and take accountability. I'm just not buying it. So you guys let me know what you think. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys next video. Thank you so much for watching. Love and hugs. Bye.